What if hiring could be easier, more streamlined, and less time-consuming, so even when you're busy, you could still be smart about the way you hire? With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click, so you can rest easy knowing your job is being seen by the right candidates. Then, ZipRecruiter puts its smart matching technology to work, actively notifying qualified candidates about your job within minutes of posting so you receive the best possible matches. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other hiring sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on the right candidates finding you, it finds them. And it's no wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, it's the smartest way to hire. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by growing businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That is right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/M&M. That's ZipRecruiter.com/M&M. One more time to try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/M&M.
Considering home security? Consider this. For 140 years, ADT has helped stop more crime than any other home security company. The yard sign isn't just a sign, it's a line in the sand. It's no wonder 5 times more people choose ADT to protect their homes. Visit ADT.com to learn more. For license information and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Just once, I want you to stay focused. Just stay focused on what we're talking about with the golf swing. We'll get to the cart beverage situation later.
What's that?
Just stay focused. Stay focused on the golf swing.
You talking to me?
No,
I will never take the game seriously.
I don't say you have to take the game seriously. Just focus on one task at a time. Quit cross-pollinating.
Listen, when I have to hit the ball, I hit the ball. When I have to drink a beer, I drink a beer.
I'm just making sure that you don't drink so many beers that you're looking at 3 balls instead of 1.
Oh, that happens all the time. Hit the middle one.
Hey, for the one in the middle, what could possibly go wrong? Mm-hmm. I think that's the title of our new show. What could possibly go wrong? That might be the better title than anything else.
Let's get shirts made up.
Welcome into What Could Possibly Go Wrong, because the list is scrolling.
And watch it fall apart.
Trey Wingo here with Mike Golic on a Football Friday. Glad you're here with us. Final hour of the show. Hope it's been a great week for you and going to be a great weekend. We, of course, are on ESPN Radio and ESPN2, presented by Progressive Insurance, and all guests join us via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, like Darius Rucker.
Yes, Darius
did earlier
today
with his new album, which, by the way, will be all over the ESPN family of networks all weekend long. We're playing a lot of the drops through the college football.
Which is cool because obviously he's such a monster sports guy who knows nothing about
fantasy
football.
That's
since
confirmed.
In our 11-person group, he and I are the only ones who haven't won.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Me, the smartest person in that group, and Darius, a big sports fan.
I will say both of you are in the group. Yes.
Okay.
Both of you are in the group.
Whatever.
We won't get into that.
We won't digress.
We will digress, though, into publicly shaming Travis.
Yes, we will.
We sort of been teasing this all morning, and you will be shocked when you hear what happened. And it just needs to come out.
And no matter what age you are, you will understand
There's no reason for what he said. Okay, so lots to get into. Again, we've got potentially the World Series will be set tonight, or the Astros can force a Game 7. The Dodgers are already there. We got lots of football to get into, college football as well as the NFL. So let's start with a little thing we like to call
Off the Top.
Here we go. The Dodgers have advanced to the World Series for the first time since 1988 with the 11-1 win over the Cubs in Game 5. LA had failed to reach the World Series in their last 10 postseason trips, the longest streak in the divisional era since 1969.
And this is their 19th trip, as we mentioned, tied for the Cardinals. Yankees have 40, Giants 20, and then Cardinals-Dodgers tied at 19. And what a night for Kike Hernandez. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Told Kershaw before the game, I got your back.
Right.
You know,
Crazy,
I mean,
right?
it really, really pretty wild what's going on with that. I love this. I love doing these things. Last time Dodgers were in the World Series was 1988.
Just listen to this list.
3 of the players on their team weren't even born yet. Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, and Yasiel Puig were not even born. Barry Bonds broke the all-time home run record since 1988. Yankees since 88 have won 5 World Series. The Marlins came into existence and won 2 World Series. The Giants won their first World Series since moving to California, and then second and third titles in 5 years. Red Sox and White Sox both snapped long World Series droughts. So, and of course, the Cubs won the World Series.
That little thing that ended 108 years later.
It's amazing. But
in
congrats to
2016.
them. Kershaw threw well.
He was great.
So they are where a lot of people early in the season we thought they would be. They had that dip, obviously, and Kershaw went on the DL, but they've been playing lights out, just lost one time this postseason, and they'll go into this World Series locked and loaded.
Is it just me, or every time you hear Kike Hernandez, all I can think of is the Seinfeld episode, I'm Keith Hernandez?
All I think of when I hear
every time
Kike, but it's a little different, is Scott Van Pelt going, Kiko Alonso.
So we're coming at this from different
perspectives.
There you
go, yeah.
Okay, we continue with
Off the Top.
Yankees could join the Dodgers tonight in the World Series. They're 1 win away from making their 41st, which is insane.
Yeah.
It's Game 6. The Yankees have already beaten a 100-win team this postseason, the Indians, and if they knock off the Stros, they'll just be the 6th team to ever beat 2 in a single postseason.
Really incredible what they've done, and they've done it down 0-2 each time right now where they can close this one out. But they do have to get through Justin Verlander, who has been ridiculous since joining the Astros, including the playoffs. He's 8-0 in baseball. That ranks first. ERA 139. That's third. Innings pitched over 51. That's first. Strikeouts 59. That's third. I mean, now Eduardo Perez, who has joined us earlier, a great nugget. And you remember, complete game, 13 strikeouts, but he threw over 120 pitches. And the book on Verlander when he throws 120 pitches, his next start, not so good.
Yeah.
So let's see if these Yankee bats can get to him on the road, and the Yankees can close this thing out.
Well, listen, the Yankees couldn't touch him in Game 2 in Houston. He had 13 strikeouts in that game. And, as Aaron Judge goes, so sort of goes the Yankees' offense here in those 3 games, or in the postseason, including the wild card game against Minnesota. Sorry, Marty Fish. Aaron Judge is hitting .333 at home and .053 on the road. 0-53.
And they're on the road, right?
Yeah, they are on the road for Game 6.
They're on the road.
They only have 1 win on the road in this postseason.
It was a big one, though.
It was the one they needed.
Yeah.
Game 5 against Corey Kluber in Cleveland to wrap up the ALDS. So we continue with
Off the Top.
NBA now, in the Thunder debuts of Paul George and Melo. Russell Westbrook stole the show with the win against the Knicks, had 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 16 assists. The most assists in a season-opening triple-double in NBA history, courtesy of Elias. A very specific stat.
Yeah, it really is. He surpassed Oscar Robertson and Bob Cousy, who both had 15. But, this is assists in a triple-double opening night, a season opener. I mean, it's pretty wild. But
on a Thursday in October. And a day that ends in an even-ended day, yeah.
But, another team of what kind of chemistry of these guys getting together, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, or Russell Westbrook. And I think this is kind of what you'll see. George took 23 shots. Anthony took 20 shots. Westbrook took 12. You're always going to see those numbers up there. They weren't particularly, 9 of 23 was George, 8 of 20 was Carmelo.
Volume shooting, baby.
Yeah, and they were cold early on, but they ended up with 28 and 22 points. But that's going to be Oklahoma City this year, and it will be interesting between them and Houston with Chris Paul now and San Antonio because they're San Antonio.
Correct.
Who can give Golden State the toughest competition.
Well, the West is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it is.
All season long. It really is because there's so many teams that are loaded on that side of the NBA. And speaking of the West, as we can continue with Off the Top, the Lakers fell to the Clippers 108-92 in Lonzo Ball's NBA debut. He ran into Patrick Beverley, a first-team All-NBA defensive player, and Beverley gave him fits.
Yeah, he did give him fits. The Lonzo Ball, his obviously his name has been out there. We saw in the Summer League a slow start, but then he was the MVP and a lot on him. And he was in this game 1 of 6, 3 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. As we said, a rookie. High expectations, but let's not think he should be coming out of the gate, like gangbusters and just destroying the league.
Right.
As a rookie, veterans want to definitely clamp him down. But it was interesting. Patrick Beverley actually went up to him after the game, basically saying, first game, blah, 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 all that. But he did say, understand, everybody's coming after you because of your father.
Right.
We wondered, and they were going to come after a rookie anyway, but there seems to be that little extra motivation. And he flat out told him, Beverly said it to him, because of your dad, you have a target on your back. So, Lonzo Ball, I think, has handled everything incredibly well.
He has unbelievable class.
And I'm really looking forward to where he goes in his career because I think he's going to be a really good player. But, it's a young team right now. Obviously with he and Ingram trying to be those guys. Brook Lopez, is he the best player on the team?
Maybe.
Right now. But they're all obviously setting up for the future here. But all eyes were on Lonzo Ball last night.
I think we both agree that he may stumble a little bit, but we think Lonzo Ball is going to have a fine game.
Without question. Right? He seems to have that it factor, that ability to see the floor around him, and let's see how they all grow together.
So we think that everything's going to be fine with Lonzo Ball going forward. So with that in mind, shout out to our former colleague and our friend Danny Cannell, who tweeted this morning. Shame that LeVar Ball destroyed Lonzo's career before it even started.
Yeah.
Hey-oh, let's just pull it back a little bit.
Certainly not going to go.
Let's just pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, not going to go that far, but for those of you who may have seen LeVar Ball afterward talking with Stephen A., and I mean, it was we're not playing.
No, we're not.
We're not. So you can go find it somewhere else. It was an embarrassment. But I'm not going to go that far with Danny Cannell.
Career over after game one.
I think this kid's going to have a
destroyed. Career destroyed.
I think he's going to have a good career. But it's one game, so let's pump the brakes. It was just very interesting what Beverly said to him after the game.
We do this thing on Mondays on NFL Live called Overreaction Monday.
Yeah, that might be one.
Danny won it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Off the top.
And we finish up off the top with what a crazy start to Week 7 in the NFL. The Raiders, on their third last play of the game, defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 31-30 in a game in which Amari Cooper was found and Marshawn Lynch was lost.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch, as we'll get into, ended up getting thrown out of this game. But listen, neither defense wants to be in film today. You give up 31 points and 30 points. As a former defensive player, I can tell you right now, even on the winning team, you're going to go through some hell in film when you give up that amount of points. And as Trey mentioned, 3 plays, there were 2 holding penalties on the Chiefs at the end of the game that gave Kansas City or that gave Oakland untimed play where they threw a touchdown, did Carr to Crabtree for the winning touchdown. But that ended there. Give Derek Carr all the credit in the world in that offense. That was your classic 2-minute drive.
Right.
He went 11 plays, 85 yards in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. They can't get any more classic picture book definition of a 2-minute drive to lead the Raiders. And basically, this week kind of a must-win game for them. It was their first division win. Got themselves in a nice position now, sitting at 3-4. Kansas City lost 2 in a row at 5-2. Denver sitting there at 3-2, coming off an ugly loss. That
horrible
division,
loss.
Where we thought Kansas City was kind of distancing themselves from everybody else. Now with 2 losses. And we've seen it before the last couple of years, haven't we?
Yep.
5-0 teams that
2015 it was Atlanta, didn't make the playoffs. In 2016 it was Minnesota 5-0 and didn't make the playoffs. Actually, shout out to the Vikings. They were also 5-0 in 2003 and didn't make the postseason.
We're not saying that about the Chiefs at all.
Well, we're just saying just bears watching.
Yeah, it does.
We've seen teams come out of the gate really strong the last 2 years. Now they've dropped 2 in a row. We still think they're very talented, and I'm going to say they probably will make the playoffs, but just it bears watching with the trend we've seen over the last couple of years. All right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, was Off the Top, and we move on to talk about what is the big story, especially if you live on the West Coast. The Dodgers are into the World Series for the first time since 1988. It's hard to believe that they haven't been back to the World Series since 88, the Kirk Gibson game where he – by the way, my favorite – shot of the infamous or famous Kirk Gibson home run off Dennis Eckersley in Game 1, where he came off the bench.
Right.
He had the line. They say he's got one good swing left.
Sure
in
did.
him, the whole thing. But as that ball is sailing over right center field, what you see in the background are the brake and taillights of Dodger fans pulling out of Chavez Ravine thinking the game was over.
Unreal. Yeah.
Because Eckersley had been untouchable that year.
Been incredible.
He'd been untouchable. He was untouchable for many years as a reliever. But that's one of the great shots of seeing that ball go out. Oh, that guy probably left too early.
Yeah.
He just had this great moment and decided to get home and eat the traffic.
You hear it on the radio, you're driving, you go,
son of a biscuit eater.
Yeah.
So
like all the Patriot fans who left the Super Bowl.
Exactly right. Jeff Darlington had a great piece about those.
We talked about that after. It was fantastic.
It was terrific. Yeah. So finally they get back in there because this was the 5th time in the last 10 years that the Dodgers were in the NLCS, and they finally break through with their second-year manager, Dave Roberts. And here's how he felt and sounded after the game.
The first thing that comes to mind is Clayton. And how long he's been a Dodger and how much he's wanted this opportunity to win a championship. I think of the city of Los Angeles and how how much they've been longing for another championship to come back to Los Angeles. I think about each individual player and coach and staff and their families and what we had to sacrifice to get to where we're at. And to do what we did, it takes a lot of talent, a lot of give, a lot of open-mindedness.
I'm jealous every time of the teams that make it to the championship game. You know, I had always said I'd wear three rings in my life: a wedding ring, a national championship ring, and a Super Bowl ring. I have one ring on.
Well, so you're in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So you're batting 333.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Getting paid, $15 million a year.
Yeah.
But, to make it to that, that's why I felt so good, like, for my boys in that 2012 when they beat USC in the last game. No matter what happened in that championship game, forgetting the result, you were in it. You were in the final game for the Dodgers. They're in it. These players in the history, 1988, all the things, it doesn't involve any of these guys. These players, they don't care about all that. They're in it. No matter how it ends, they are playing in the World Series. I mean, that has to be just an incredible feeling, one I would have loved to have either in college or in the NFL, 9 years, 9 chances to try and be in that last game, to just say, okay, you celebrate, and then you can just sit back and say, you know what? Can't take that away from us. We are there. And I understand if you lose it, it's a horrible thing, and I get all that. But you know what? You're there.
Right.
There's something to that.
You're exactly right. And I think if anybody's honest with themselves, an athlete, they just want – look, everybody wants to win it.
Yeah.
But you to win it, you have to have the opportunity.
It's exactly right.
And that's why I think on many levels at times, whether it's a conference final in the NBA or whether it's the NL or ALCS or championship Sunday in football – I think the pressure there sometimes is so much more enormous
than the championship.
Because give me a chance.
Let me be
an
there.
Opportunity. Because how many careers come up that one? Tony Gonzalez is a perfect example. Hall of Fame. We're going to walk into the Hall of Fame. One of the most prolific receivers as a tight end we've ever seen in the history of the NFL. And he never got the opportunity to step on that stage.
That's why I would take the Buffalo Bills losing 4 straight any day of the week. You remember, at least you were in this Super Bowl, even though you lost. Rarely do you remember as a team that got beat in the championship game.
Correct.
Though the kudos to the coaches usually meant you were coaching the Pro Bowl. That was about it.
That's exactly right. That was the joke. Andy Reid wearing that Hawaiian shirt 5 years or 4 years in a row.
Exactly. But that's so. I'm really happy for those guys. They're there. You can't take anything away. They made it to the pinnacle of their sport.
Correct.
And we'll see what happens.
Nothing better.
They got there. Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll find out who they'll play. It's the Yankees at the Astros, Game 6 tonight. You can hear it on ESPN Radio at 7 p.m. Eastern. Every pitch of every game, by the way, you'll hear on ESPN Radio all the way through the World Series. So what happens tonight? Because the Astros were dominant with great pitching more than anything else in games 1 and 2, and Altuve manufacturing runs any way he could. Then they go to the Bronx, and the Yankee bats awake from this slumber they were in Houston, and they get to Dallas Keuchel most impressively in Game 5, who had been their nemesis. Now they've got Verlander in Game 6.
As someone watching it, it's easy. They get to Verlander or get Verlander out of there, the Yankees are going to win this thing because Astros bullpen is not very good. And the Yankees bullpen is good should they have to go to that. So this one, this is why these starting pitchers get the money.
Right.
Not only for obviously the regular season, but in post. That's what we kept saying about Kershaw. What's he going to do in the post? Verlander was a stud in Game 2, and he needs to be a stud tonight for this team to keep going.
All right, so with that in mind, we'll see what happens tonight or whether or not the Astros can force Game 7, which, by the way, you can also hear on ESPN Radio, ESPNRadio.com, and the ESPN app. But we'll make the seamless transition from potential World Series matchup into Week 7 of the NFL. We'll play a little game we call...
Right now on Mike and Mike. Let's go. It's time for the 5-Point Stance.
And we'll kick off that 5-point stance with this. Brett Hundley will be the 7th different starting quarterback for the Packers since Brett Favre's first season in Green Bay in 1992. The fewest starts in the NFL. He'll face Drew Brees, who's making career start 238.
I'm looking forward to kind of what the play calls are for Hundley. They get him on the move a little bit. I'm sure they're going to be the plays that he likes the best. So I'm very interested in seeing what pattern the play calling goes through.
Well, listen, again, he's forced into the game last week for a program game call for Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
So there'll be different things here. So we continue. On the opposite end of what the stability of the Packers are quarterback are the Browns. Back to Deshaun Kaiser. All three quarterbacks on the active roster have not won a game as a starter in their careers, including this week's game. The Browns have switched starting quarterbacks 20 times in the last 43 games.
So Kevin Hogan started the last game. They're saying it's because of ribs. He's now the third quarterback. Cody Kessler's the backup. Kaiser, as I said, Kaiser, even if he took the break, I get it. He had to go back in. They need to find out what their quarterback situation is yet again to decide if they need to draft another quarterback yet again.
Maybe they should just start Kaiser Sose at quarterback. And we continue. Thank you, Hembo, with the chuckle into the microphone, the usual suspects. Sunday will mark the 36th all-time meeting between the Cowboys and 49ers, including playoffs. Will be just the second meeting where both teams enter with a losing record, Week 4 in 2000.
The difference is the difference of the teams. The 49ers, this was somewhat expected.
Yeah.
That's why Shanahan and Lynch, the coach and GM, got 6-year deals to rebuild this. The Cowboys were 13-3 last year.
They've already lost as many games this year. Yeah.
High expectations, so they're two teams with losing records, but both really for the different expectations for these teams.
And again, Zeke should be on the field this week as the legal back and forth, like a cat with a chew toy, goes back and forth with court rulings. Right now he is eligible, and we'll see what happens going forward. Continuing on the 5-point stance, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell have both reached 700 scrimmage yards through 6 games, according to Elias. They're the first set of teammates to have at least 700 scrimmage yards through the first 6 games of a season since 1933, when individual stats were first recorded.
So let's be honest. If we said before the season started you were going to say whatever that stat was
700 scrimmage yards for 2 teammates.
I mean, holy smokes, that you would say, oh, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
Those two would be them.
So you're not shocked.
Right.
To me, Pittsburgh defense has been a pleasant, really surprise of how they're building going forward. Because the 3 Bs are going to lead the way in Bell and Brown and Ben on this offense. So that's the expectation. But that defense, to me, has been a difference maker.
Yeah, and you know what this stat also tells me?
What's that?
Nobody played fantasy football in 1932.
That's exactly right. Good point.
And we continue with the 5-point stance. Pats host the Falcons in a rematch of Super Bowl 51, which, of course, saw the Patriots overcome a 25-point deficit to win. It was the first overtime Super Bowl. 8th time in NFL history 2 Super Bowl teams meet the following regular season. The Super Bowl winner has won 5 of the previous 7.
Could you, Matt? I mean, this sets up for Dan Quinn talking about Julio Jones needs the ball more. They're playing the worst pass defense in the NFL. That ain't getting much better right now in New England. Could New England have 3 losses this early in the season and all 3 be at home?
It's possible. It possible.
Absolutely is.
Look, you could have made the case that they should have lost at home to the Texans, were it not for time management and maybe a questionable play call on 3rd and 1 by Bill O'Brien. So we'll see what happens there. It makes sense to throw the ball against the Patriots.
It does.
Every quarterback they've played has thrown for 300 yards. That's never happened before.
So while they should run more, they're going to throw more this game.
But if you have the lead, Atlanta,
there you go.
Run the ball.
4-minute offense, got to do it.
We looked it up real quick. Of the 25 teams that have had at least one rushing attempt with a 14-point lead this year, the Raiders have the fewest, and they're tied with the Falcons for the fewest. So when you have the lead, run the ball.
Got to be able to have that offense.
Shorten the game.
Yeah.
Keep that guy, Tom Brady, off, because if you give him a chance,
then you go,
we've seen it happen time and time again. All right, coming up, it's your favorite segment.
Oh, boy. Hey, everyone, Mike Golic here. Support for Mike and Mike podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you're confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you that same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. With Rocket Mortgage, you can apply simply and understand fully so you can mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Mikes. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS consumeraccess.org number 3030. Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you like bump or hill
I
better?
go with bump.
I like hill.
You like hill?
I like hill.
Okay. Well, this is the basis upon the conflict that every radio show needs will be.
Hembo, what do you think?
I prefer slab.
Slab?
Just because
Toe
of
the
rubber.
slab.
Yeah.
You've never heard toe the slab?
No, when I hear slab, I hear nothing but ribs.
And meat.
Okay.
But I know he's referring to the rubber on the mound.
No, I get that.
I wasn't sure.
Okay, I understand that.
I think everyone can say that they wouldn't understand.
When I know hill and mound, I don't know slab that much, but if you say slab, my mouth will immediately begin to water with barbecue
so
sauce.
Hembo, take slab out of it.
Yeah.
Hill or bump.
Hill is formal, bump is informal.
There you go. Well, I'm a very informal guy.
Well, for the sake of the show, then there you go.
Bump.
Wait, what is what?
Hill would be more formal than bump.
He's right. You're a formal guy. You are very
that's what I think of.
By the way, he's
think I've
wearing
shown that.
he's wearing jorts and sandals underneath the set. Just so you know, that's how formal
Without
he is.
underwear.
All right.
I'm sorry. Did
Did
I say that out loud?
We're ending.
It's time for another edition of Love It,
Oh, this is fun.
or Shove It with Mike and Mike on ESPN Radio.
Trying to get that last thing out of my head.
Don't blame you.
Okay, time for Love It or Shove It. Bubba's here.
Yeah, he is.
Bubba, explain what we're doing.
What's up?
Where are you?
Hold on, you're brought to us by Granger.
Yeah.
And so what are you? What's going on?
guys? So I am in a deep, dark basement, and you may have heard the big story of the week is Rick Pitino,
That's one of them.
and he was really interested in taking a lie detector test. So I'm here, strapped up to a lie detector test. I'm going to give you a lie detector test.
So
Don't worry about the semantics.
I was about to say, you could not have explained that worse.
No, when you become a professional interrogator, you do it how you want. For now,
so are you
I'm ready.
you're a human lie detector? So
Yeah.
you're detecting whether or not we lie.
Right, he's
I'm
wearing
giving
the
you a lie
apparatus.
detector test.
Okay.
Right, okay. All right, go ahead. Ask
Sure.
a couple.
All right. So we're going to start off with a baseline just to see where you're at, okay?
Okay.
Trey,
Yeah.
please state your full name.
Hal Chapman Wingo III.
Mark that here. Okay. Got that?
Thank you.
Golic,
Yeah.
please state your career sack total in the NFL.
1? Sorry. 2.
It's 11.5.
Okay. You guys are both off to a good
There was
start.
a 1 in there. I knew there was a 1 in there.
Shut up, Hal.
Okay,
All right.
Michael.
Trey,
Yes.
isn't it true that you think your son Chappie should also be a host on Golic and Wingo for an hour every day?
Absolutely. Equal time. Absolutely. By the way, he killed it in the promo reads.
He
yesterday.
did. I can't
He
wait
killed
for
it.
that to come out.
Truth.
That is the truth.
Truth.
Well,
All right. Good job, guys. We're off to a good start. Here's the first Love It or Shove It question.
I was hoping for another question.
We'll get to you.
Thanks for including me.
We'll get to you.
All right.
Clayton Kershaw will win World Series MVP. Love it or shove it.
Wow. Listen, I'll say love it. Does it go 7? I mean, for him to get 3 times? I mean, that's going to be the thing.
Would he have to have 3 starts to get it, you think? Or well,
Probably 2, maybe, and then a relief
and
appearance.
then a relief
perhaps.
appearance,
Yeah.
but that would mean going 7. They've lost 1 game this postseason. Do we think whoever they play, it's going 7 games? I'll say it maybe more because that's what I'd like to see.
You'll say love it?
I'll say I love it.
Here's why I'm going to say shove it. Because, they won 100 games, but whoever they play in the World Series will be a team that's beaten 2 100-win teams, the Cleveland and the Astros, or another 100-win team, the Astros. So if you have 200-win teams in the World Series, I think it may go 7. Mm-hmm. So I'll say shove it. I'll just say shove it.
Okay.
I'll say shove it.
All right, Bubba.
All right, Golic, my question for you. Have you paid off all of your outstanding bets?
Ooh.
No, I have not. I owe the staff here a hot breakfast. It's exactly right.
Telling the truth.
Yeah.
I did. I do.
Telling the truth.
He also owes the IRS, but that's a different.
That's a whole. I was hoping you didn't ask that.
We'll get
question.
into that one.
I have
Coming.
till November 17th to pay that bet off.
Russell Westbrook will average a triple-double again this season. Love it or shove it.
This is how I'm going to answer this question. Who has the ball in his hand every possession?
That would be Russell Westbrook.
Then he will. I mean, so listen, Paul George is going to get his shots. Carmelo Anthony's going to get his shots. But when push comes to shove, Russell Westbrook's still going to get his. So I think he still may do it. I almost want to say shove it just to go. It hadn't been done since Big O doing it.
Right.
And it had been decades. For a season. And now to think it could happen 2 seasons in a row might be pushing it. So I've now just talked myself out of it. I shove it.
Okay, I love that because you started to love it, and then you said when push comes to shove, I love it or
I
shove it.
See
and
that?
you went
See
back
how he
to
did
shove
that?
it. I'm going to go with love it because I think that he's not going to take as many shots, and he will distribute to guys that can finish in George and Carmelo.
And the 10 points is probably the easiest way to go,
I think
right?
10 points is the least thing for him to worry about.
I changed it again. I love it.
Oh, my God. You have commitment issues.
I love it.
You have major commitment issues. We both love it.
Trey,
Yeah.
do you believe that you should have top billing with the new show and that it should be called Wingo and the Golics?
No. No, I
knew
that's
that was
a lie.
That's a lie.
I've been very upfront with this.
Yeah.
What did I say?
That is a lie.
The Mike Golic show with others earlier.
But listen,
don't care.
You could say it all you want,
Don't
but
care.
deep down, it's a lie.
The lie
not a lie if
detector
you believe it.
doesn't lie. All right.
Yep.
Cam Newton skipping media day is a big deal. Love it or shove it.
Oh, shove it. Come on. Seriously, who cares?
Shovelicious.
I mean, I don't even
Look,
know.
the NFL's now looking into it.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what
on.
that means? He'll talk the next time he's available.
Yeah.
This isn't media date the Super Bowl.
No, it is not.
It's a weekly weekly media appearance. He'll
care.
appear again.
We both shove it, Bubba.
Yeah, shoving it every minute of it.
Yep.
Isn't it true that your favorite child is Jake?
That's false because my favorite child changes daily, and I've told them that they have to earn my love.
That's true.
Yeah, they have to earn my love every single day.
That is true.
Right.
The Eagles are the Super Bowl favorites. Love it or shove it.
Take off, big man.
I love it. I mean, I think they're the most complete team right now. Their defense playing lights out. They got a running game going. And Carson Wentz, man, you want to talk about improvement from year one to year two. He is the textbook of it right now in the way he's going. I love what Zach Ertz is doing. I mean, I love that quarterback-tight end combo they have there. So just because from the complete side of it, and the teams we've seen losing now 2 in a row, Kansas City, Green Bay losing Aaron Rodgers for the year,
Yep.
I'm going to love this one.
Repeat the question as you stated it to Golic. As you exactly stated it to Golic.
The Eagles are the Super Bowl favorites. Love it or shove it.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you said right now.
No.
Right now, I would say that. I'm going to shove it.
I did not say that.
I'm going to shove it because I have no idea what happens 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks ago.
Oh, way to take a stand.
2 weeks ago. Well, no, nobody knows
just
anything.
throw
2 weeks
stuff to the
ago.
wind.
2 weeks ago, the Chiefs were unbeaten. Now they've lost.
Make
2 in a
a
row.
commitment.
Shove it.
Give me
Shove it. No.
I hate you.
That's probably the basis for the show.
Probably is.
What do we got?
Trey,
Yeah.
is it true that your golf index is 7.6 and worse than Greenie's?
Yeah, that's probably true. It is 7.6, but I don't know what Greenies is. So
Better than Greenie's.
really,
Sorry. Let me
I
get
didn't
the
know.
question correct here.
Yeah, I didn't know the answer.
Is it true that your golf index is 7.6 and better than Greenie's?
Now I'm going to say yes because you told me so.
True.
There you go.
You're a better golfer. I had no idea who was the better golfer. I basically I didn't care, but I didn't know.
I didn't know until now either. So
Now we know. Trey,
So if you guys
better golfer.
I think his is like maybe a 9 or a 10 something. If like you guys were to play, I don't know what does that figure to like how many strokes a hole or
it's almost a push though, isn't it? Our numbers almost
got to be pretty close.
okay.
7.6.
So,
Hey,
8.8.
let's just chalk this one up from Avon and move on. All
There
right.
you go.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, boss.
The winner of USC Notre Dame will make the college football playoff. Love it or shove it.
I'm going to take the road that I just yelled at Trey for. I don't know. I mean, listen.
Oh, fine. It's okay when you do it.
It's exactly right. Whose name's first on the show? Hey-o!
Alphabetically.
Because Notre Dame could run the table. I think they'd be in because we've never had more than one undefeated team in the Final Four. If you had 3, Penn State, TCU, and Alabama, and Georgia lost by 1 point to Alabama in the SEC championship game, then maybe Notre Dame would be left out. But I don't see it happening. I'm going to say that. No, I can't say it because I think even if USC wins, I don't think they're guaranteed to be in there. So because of that, I'm going to shove it.
I have literally no idea what you've said.
Here's what I'll say.
Literally, you've talked in circles.
Here's the way I'll do it. Yeah. If Notre Dame wins and they run the table, they're in. If USC wins this game and they run the table, I'm not so sure.
So it's a shove it.
It's a love it, shove it.
I'm shoving the love on this one. Move on to the next thing.
All right, last one for Golic.
Yep.
Thank God.
Is it true that your favorite segment in the history of Mike and Mike has been Love It or Shove It?
That's completely false. It couldn't be any more false. I just put up with this segment more than anything else.
That is a lie.
By the way,
Your favorite segment is Love It or Shove It.
I love the high-tech graphics we've got.
I know.
Well, I get the print out from my machine here.
White
and
piece of paper with pen.
It's a printout. No, it's, this machine prints out, and as you can see, it's all over the place, spiking.
When the show is going to end, they start taking away your bells and whistles.
And scene.
Mike, reminding you, if you missed any of the show, including Darius Rucker, whose album drops today, when was the last time? He was in hour 2. You can listen to all 4 hours of Mike and Mike on demand in the ESPN app. And now you can subscribe to our Best Of podcast. It's all available in the Listen tab of the ESPN app.
Mike and Mike, again, presented by Progressive Insurance, and all guests joined us, like Darius, on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. But now it's time for Forward Thinking, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And here's what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. Sunday, Jags travel to Colts, take on Indy. Coverage begins at 12 Eastern on ESPN Radio. What do you got?
I have to do a football power index,
Yeah.
and I call it the NPI, or Nerd Power Index. We're 3-3, right, Hembo? 3-3. They won the first two. I won the next three.
Nice. Keep it going.
And then they won one in a row. I've decided I'm going to take the Nerds have picked. The Nerds picked Kansas City. You done?
I'm allergic to your nerds.
The Nerds picked Kansas City. I'll take Oakland. I win.
Do it. Hey, there's no rule that says you
Woo!
can't.
Yeah, where's the rule that says I can't do that?
Yeah.
Here's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm doing this. In Miami, I'm taking the Jets.
Wow.
I'm taking the Jets.
Darius is breaking up.
I know. The NPI gives the Miami Dolphins a 73% chance to win this game. I'm taking the visiting Jets, Jets. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Why not?
But exactly right. Why not?
Nobody knows anything. In the
I'm really taking a chance because this is the third, biggest lock for the Nerds.
Yeah.
Their third biggest lock.
So you're going against the nerd lock.
The top is Jacksonville over Indianapolis, 77%.
I don't know. Indy's played pretty well at home.
I know. And then Minnesota over Baltimore is 74%, and then Miami over the Jets at 73%.
So you're going with the Jets on the road in Miami.
Yes, I am.
All right, we've been talking about this all show.
Yeah, we have.
It's time for Travis to meet his reckoning. Travis said something as I was driving in and listening to your son, Mike Golic Jr., on First and Last. Travis, would you want to repeat what you said on First and Last?
Vin Scully is overrated.
Oh! I mean, just
Seriously.
hearing the words out loud makes me want to vomit and then punch you square in the face.
It's ridiculous.
Why? What's your reasoning?
This whole last year, we're hearing about, Vin Scully's retiring. We have this whole farewell for him. What has he done? The last 5 years.
Please stop talking.
So you're basing
stop talking.
He had a call in '88.
Decades and decades of a career, and you're saying, what did he do in the last 5 years?
He's overrated. Same thing as Tony Romo.
I can't.
They love him at
Stop.
first. And he's
I
overrated.
can't. No, this is Vin Scully is a national treasure.
Vern Lundquist overrated too.
Vin Scully is a national treasure who should be celebrated, and I hope that somehow he gets to be a part of this because he's waited. Vin Scully is what everyone should aspire to be in their career and in their life. He's literally the epitome of that.
And in my opinion, you've given a ridiculous reason
Yeah.
for what he hasn't done in the last 5 years. That's the basis for your argument.
Because the team was terrible, it's his fault.
That
Let's
Vin
just put it that
Scully
way.
is overrated because of what he did in the last 5 years.
And he was calling every third inning. Charlie Steiner had to carry him.
Oh my! Oh, okay. You're now fired. You're now officially fired. I can't do this. I can't do this.
I'm gonna not look over there anymore and say, do you think he get Vin's a little bummed that he did retire and here they are, the Dodgers in the World Series?
Yeah,
though?
what has he ever done? Well, he's called 25 World Series, which his career began in 1950.
Yep, keep going.
He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1982, the same year as Hank Aaron and Frank Robinson. Here's everything you need to know about Vin Scully. His first season, 1950, was Connie Mack's last as a Major League Baseball manager. Why is that important? Mack was born during the Civil War. He was born during the Civil War.
Vin Scully has been a Hall of Famer longer, Bickler, than you have been alive.
So he gets an award for being alive?
No, he gets an award for being awesome. You get an award for being a giant
You know what?
turd.
You're not going to be in about 30 seconds
Employed.
alive.
Yeah.
Okay?
This is it.
Oh, my. I want to throw something at him.
You just did. We've reached the pinnacle of hot take stupidity thanks to Travis. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching Mike and Mike.
Yeah.
We have no idea whether Travis will be back on Monday because these are unpardonable offenses. Thanks for watching and listening.
It's Golic and Wingo.
Coming on November 27th with no Travis.
Sneak peek.